Welcome back to another episode of Your Daily Real Estate. This one is about the Seller Property Questionnaire. It's an updated one. I did this episode, I don't even remember where. It doesn't even matter because this is the new one. Yes, there's a Google Doc and there are 27 points. Here's what I've learned over the last years of doing this one. When I started in the business 21 years ago, I did not have a seller property questionnaire where I would call up the seller. And this is typically what we do before we show up at the property. In some cases, we also do it in person. But what we do when we have the listing appointment set, what we do is we set up an appointment to call them and say, do you have about 20 minutes to run over some questions just so that we're better prepared to show up to your property? And they typically say yes. If they say no, then that's when we do it in person. And what we do is we focus on the most important things. Here are some, all right? Not all 27. If you need this document, let me know. Now, I'll go over some of the updated ones as well. But the very first few, the set of first few, I would say 1 through 4, just asking for their name, property address. Are you the owner that is ultimately in charge of making all the decisions, or is there a second owner, right? Something like that. Phone, home, cell, business, yes, fax. Some people still have fax. And then we get into the rest, which is, why are you selling? Is this a corporate move? Or is your company helping you with the move? I know in our area, we had to add that specific one. We have one of the largest pharmaceuticals in the world. Here it's Amgen. And Amgen is involved in a lot of the moves here. And they go ahead and pay whatever that commission that you charges they pay. But there are also some agents that need to be involved from their side of the business. So we watch out for that as well. Next question. When do you need to move by? And could you describe your house for me? I always like to ask that because the very first few things they bring up are things that are important to them, right? And I'm looking for beds, baths, square footage, all that stuff, just to see if it coincides with what I see online, because I pulled up typically a quick property profile. And I want to make sure that that aligns with what they're telling me. Next, I'm just going to skip around here. Here's number 9, for example. What sold you on your home when you bought it? What features did you love? I like that one because it really helps me understand how I can possibly market this home as well. Another great question that I've highlighted here. By the way, when you get this, it's 27 points, and there's like A and B to some of them. So it's really more than that. But I have highlighted areas. I've got a whole bunch that are highlighted that I think are important to me. So you can always make a copy of this for yourself. But one that I like is this one, and it really sets the tone for pricing. All right, here it is, number 11. I say, if you were to stay in the home for another 5 years, is there anything you would do to it? And now I'm asking that because those are the things we're either going to have to fix or we're going to have to reduce the price on because it's a problem. They need to fix it, right? Because the following question is this, number 12. For a moment, pretend to be a buyer and look at your home through what we call buyer's eyes. On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate its condition? 1, poor, 10, model home. Now, remember the previous question? I typically ask that before as well so they know that it's not going to be a 10, right? And if they give me more reasons on number 11, it's going to be more like a 7 or an 8. And if it's a big fixer where we're like, hey, look, we got to replace the roof, we've got to replace the flooring and it's going to need painting, right? If it's more like that, then when it comes up to this next question and they come out and say, well, it's a 9. I said, okay, well, we've got to put the roof on. We've got to put, and then I go through the things they just told me. And they said, yeah, it makes sense. Maybe it's an 8. I'm like, yeah, maybe it's a 6, right? But I don't say that over the phone. Here's some good ones too. Number 19, I'm going to skip a few here. What are 3 things you're looking for in a realtor? And really, they haven't really thought of this. I find that the number one thing they come up with, boom, is the most important thing. And believe it or not, this is the one thing they come up with, especially if they have experience in selling a home before recently. They say, well, or if it's an expired or for sale by owner, they say, well, we want to make sure we sell our home, right? So we're looking for a real estate agent who can sell our home. And I laugh and I say, well, that makes sense. Explain to me what a realtor would have to have in order for them to sell your home. Like, what skills are those that you're looking for? What marketing are you looking for? Expand on that for me. And then they do. All right, number 20. Are you getting any other professional opinions on your home? I feel like this one is missed sometimes because, yes, if we bring it up and they're not talking to anybody else, the question I get usually is, should I? Oh, you're the only one. Should I be talking to somebody else? I'm like, no, I'm just asking the question just to make sure, right? But A, do you have any appointments set up? If they said yes. B, could you please provide me the names and times you're meeting them? Now, that one's a little gutsy. Not everyone will feel comfortable asking that question. I sometimes do because I like to go first. I like to go first personally. I know some people like to go last. I like to go first so I have a shot at this. And if we do a great job where I'm like, hey, listen, we did a great job. They tell us, oh, you did a great job, but I still have the other appointments. I usually say, listen, don't worry about it. I can give them a call for you and let them know that and then do that whole thing, right? Yes, we do that. Let's go to number 24. Do you have a moving company arranged or would you like recommendations? I like that because it kind of sets the motion. It's like, hey, I don't have one. Please recommend one for me. Now you're setting the tone so they can come to you for help like this, right? And then I'll do number 27 here for you. Explain what happens next. We don't do this enough sometimes, which is next one, right? A, is it a call? Is it 2 calls? Is it a pre-listing packet? Are you showing up next? What time are you showing up? What happens next? Tell me. I want to know. And be clear about it because now you're treating this more like a predictable business. And then they appreciate that because they get clarity, right? Do yourself a favor. Use this one. It's extremely helpful. If you need this, message me. But to be fair, you could probably create a really good one on ChatGPT. I have this as a mixture from ninja selling and from my own experiences. So this is very unique to us, but if you don't want it, go to ChatGPT. If you need it, message me on Instagram. Have an awesome day.